Hello and welcome. My name is Esther, and today I just want to do a collective reading for all of you just to see what the cards want to say. So sometimes they bring through a topic, and then other times it's just about the energy and what you most need right now for your highest and best good. Ultimately, these readings are for you. Oh wow. And they are ultimately for your highest capacity. Okay, so collective, you got 3 foundational cards here of potential, dependability, and discernment. So if you are on more of a spiritually led path, then this reading is going to be for you. Because ultimately, first and foremost with discernment collective, potential, it is about you understanding your highest potential. So when it comes to this oracle, it's really about you understanding the inner truth of whom you are. As you can see, there's a face there right at the heart chakra. So this is really an evolving of the truest soul spirit self within you. And that is no small feat. So you may be finding that you're now needing to travel to new places, but you're also becoming dependable on the self, self-sustainable and self-reliant. So we're going to see what the little mini witch tarot here has, because I love this one. So in regards to your potential, you have the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and Page of Wands that came out. Okay, so collective, first and foremost, you are in a place of self-discovery, inner worth, inner value, and coming back home to the truest self. When it comes to this card of the Queen of Pentacles, this is really where you're going to be stepping into your authority and your abundance in all ways. So this is really standing in your power and knowing your value. The Queen of Pentacles, she does not search out, those come to her. She is abundant and wealthy, and with all the black cat energy around her, this is really about you knowing your worth and your value and your intuitive magic. So very fruitful in anything aligned with an intuitive kind of line of work. Your highest potential is through the spiritual work, and that's really clear here for you, collective. Because the Knight of Pentacles, this is about setting forth and striving for your goals and your aspirations. So this is fast forward movement. You're taking off, you're taking the lead, and this is where the dependability oracle came in, right? This is being dependent and self-reliant within whom you are, and also being able to depend on relationships outside of you, having aligned partnerships, and those who really respect you and value your time, your authenticity, and your gifts. So you're leaving behind probably old jobs, relationships, or even environments. So you're setting off to a brand new adventure. That's where your highest potential actually lies. With the Six of Swords, yeah, you're going at moonlight, right? So within the unseen. And this may even be a new adventure for you. There's others here that are coming with you, but you've got everything you need with you in your pack. You're striving forth even in the most uncertain or darkest of times, but it's leading you to the Page of Wands as well. So this is ultimately about steadfast in your magic, chameleon spirit, new horizons into the sunlight, right? And knowing a little bit of that Fool energy with just having more than enough to carry with you, even if it seems to be that you're traveling light. Because where you're dependable on yourself, collective, is really where you've done the inner work this year, because you've actually allowed yourself to reharmonize into your own worth and value, knowing where you can strive to be successful and dependent in your own right, letting go of anything in the monkey mind or anything that kind of sabotaged your understandings of self. And that's ultimately what matters the most. You got 7 of Swords and also 8 of Wands. So this is letting go of the struggle and the storms. this whirlwind of feeling like, oh my gosh, where do I belong and why am I so mixed up? Well, you had to stand tall in your own right, and you knew that. So you clearly have faced a lot of storms this year, collective. With this dependability of the self, this is harmony through the chakras as well. This is through your energy body. This is self-recognition, divine masculine, divine feminine. Having that harmony and that equanimity within your inner being. Because now with the discernment, you also are able to now understand where are the fruits of my labor and where is it that actually deserves my energy. Because wherever you were was not constructive. So you may have found that you were fairly codependent, or others were codependent on you, and you're leaving that behind. Clarity on where the collective is going, please, Spirit, with this dependability. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you got, and this one flew over. Yeah. Cups. A lot of cups energy, which is fulfillment. So the first card that came out was the Five of Cups. So this is really grieving what was lost. However, you're in a beautiful place, a beautiful environment. So you may be traveling. You may be rediscovering not only new lands, but an element of the self. And that is really ultimately what you need to stand strong and tall within you. Because when you know the self, then you know where you belong, right? And that's where this discernment power has come in for you, collective. Is like, you now know which road to take, which road to avoid. It's like this inner intuition of being completely sovereign in the self and dependable on the self. So even though that these cups have gone, there's actually this celebration right behind you, right? So there's this table here, there's balloons, there's these 2 cups here. You're going to be celebrating with others. These cups are full, these cups have spilled. So although your focus was kind of more in the recent past, focus on what was lost, Spirit is really saying, don't worry. Do not focus on what is gone or what is lost. You have to focus your energy forward into the new and what is coming in, because there's a lot of abundance coming in. And it's this willingness to depend on the self, to rediscover your own inner worth, harmony, and integrity. Because 8 of Cups, this is like, I'm journeying off now. I know that there is more for me. No matter what, there's new horizons. And it's reconnecting to the adventure and the openness to trust in where you're being led. Because your outcome is King of Cups. Which is fabulous energy. This is really about the ruler of your own life. Being the ruler of your own life. And discerning what deserves your time, what doesn't. Having more than enough to share. Having more than enough to give. And yeah, amazing. Yeah. You got 7 of Swords. So it's like you're rediscovering your magic. You're beyond what those around you could perceive was possible. And that's where you're discerning, where's my tribe? Where's my crew? Where's my crowd? Where are those like minds that are actually aligned with the same forward movement and vision that I hold? And where are the communities that are actually doing proper and sustainable work that is actually aligned for humanity and that is actually healthy and whole? So not only new relationships coming in and possibly actually dependable, loving relationships, but this is bringing you into prosperity. You got the 9 of Pentacles. So very, very quickly, you will be peaceful, calm, harmonious. Prosperity is all around you. And this is because you are willing to take a chance on self. You are willing to say, you know what? Everything that had to fall away this year was really challenging. But I'm going to trust it. I'm trusting myself. I'm trusting Spirit. I'm trusting my heart. I am now on a path and a journey home to me. And you should be immensely proud about that. You may want to check out the career. I don't even think it was career, but it was work for the creative souls. And it was yesterday. So you may want to look at that, because that is ultimately going to probably have a lot of information in there for you as well. Wow. Okay. So you got the Lovers again. So collective, to clarify this reading as an overall with this dependability, This is like with the Lovers card, this is where you've trusted your intuition. This is divine union, divine partnerships. Not only with the self, but also with that's coming in for you around you, right? So it's about partnership and union and respect, being valued and appreciated for your worth and whom you are. And that's because of your willingness to rediscover your greatest potential, to embrace your potential, to face your fears or lack mentality or limited beliefs, and where you needed to shift in those areas. You've done the inner work. So because of your willingness, this is where you're actually attracting in mutual respect. You're attracting in those people who are going to not only gift you proposals, but new divine soul bonds and emotional bonds. This is about equality and feeling like you can trust yourself, but you can also trust the people in your life. So especially if you felt like alone or lost, especially as a creative soul or an empathetic soul or a spiritual soul, it can be quite lonely at times, especially when you heal and you grow, and especially when you emerge into your highest potential. So that's where Spirit is saying, like, congratulations and good work, because this is ultimately what's bringing you home. You got the Empress as your outcome. This is a major arcana, and the Empress is about connecting to the earth. That reminds you that we are limitless, we are abundant. So really getting more present, moving your body, spending time outside, really reinvigorating that creative and passionate energy, right? The Empress is like all about fertility and pregnancy, but it's also about the birthing of your gifts and your talents into the world, to share it, to share your magic, share your inspirations, and allow yourself to shine, allow your highest potential to become realized, right? Because this is about continued growth and the fact that you now are about to step into a social standing. You're going to be recognized for your worth and your value. You've got the Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune is really to do with the solar plexus, to know who you are. And this is where everything's turning in your favor. That's why you have to discern. The discernment here in this card is like, let me recognize where the true heart and passion and soul of elements are here with this heart and the all-seeing eye, right? Discerning what grows for you, what deserves your time, what deserves your fruits of your labor and your passions and your creativity. Because the Wheel of Fortune is a lot like destiny and chance, right? It's good karma. It's also about divine soulmates coming in. So this is really a beautiful, fortunate, and fated cycle of life that you're in right now, collective. Because you also got the Tower. So that's the crumbling away of what was. You have to be willing to let go of the old versions of self. You also have to be willing to let go of where you were dependent on others, right? Because now you're dependable. Dependability means you stand strong in your own authority, in your own integrity. So the Tower is really where you're listening to the higher view of the wisdom and saying, what needs to fall away? You know, you're just surrendering to the storm. You're surrendering to what the universe is showing you, because anything unaligned must go. And that was really ultimately humanity's greatest potential of a gift this year, was the potential to grow and achieve and strengthen, depending on how you listen to what was trying to shift in your life. So anything unaligned naturally came down with this Tower. You may have even caused intentional towers by leaving jobs or relationships or environments that you knew were not constructive for your health or for your well-being or for what it is you really want, right? And you also got 5 of Swords in reverse. So this is really good because that's about peaceful resolution. So whatever crumbled away was left with grace and peace. So that's amazing, collective. That's very loving, and that's probably why you have so much turning in your favor, especially with the Wheel of Fortune and this major abundance coming in, because not only are you now upholding a new form of integrity within yourself, you're understanding that that is the highest gift that you can give, not only to all those around you, but for yourself. And that is ultimately what births into manifestation. It's like the gratitude that you hold now for even what you had to let go of, because you understand the learning in it, you respect what needed to shift, and you trust the universe, right? You're allowing what is unaligned to fall away peacefully, you know? And that brings you into the Emperor. This is your outcome. It's amazing because you've been willing to compromise and move on. Communicate your truth, honor others with respect and grace and love, learning from your mistakes, taking accountability and applying this wisdom. It's incredible. That's like throat chakra. That's understanding the mind and where it needs to shift. That's also understanding communication and where you needed to shift, or where you needed to be heard, or where you need to speak up. That's what brought you into the Emperor. This is grounded, stable energy. This is resilient alone. Just like the dependability and the potential. You know, and obviously the Emperor is going to have major discernment, right? The Emperor is not there to bow to others. The Emperor attracts. The Emperor is already the king. It's like, I am my own authority. You are your own authority now. And you have the will and the power to create your life structure for the highest and best good of yourself and all that around you. This is where you're going to feel protected. You are protected. And structure, authority, and ambition. Like, you are now in control of your own life, your own destiny. You now hold the authority and the stability. You're feeling grounded and solid in your choices, decisions, and your forward movement. This is a lot to do with focused fearlessness, right? Like, you're focused and disciplined. You're understanding the divine masculine energy that needed to be harnessed, especially if you're quite empathetic and gifted in that way. Now you're bringing in the divine masculine, which is more grounded, stable, structured, powerful, integral. Because this is about your practicality and your dependability as well, right? The Emperor is a very strong masculine, divine masculine energy, and it's a power energy. So I'm really proud of you, collective, because if you found this, then we'll keep this short and sweet. But ultimately what Spirit is saying is that you need to take this chance on yourself. If you've been having this pull into something new, then you're on the right path. It is meant for you. It's going to lead to major success. You have to believe in your highest potential. You have to harness this inner dependability, stand tall and strong, and you have to discern what deserves your time. The past and this year really taught you what you do and do not deserve now. It really taught you to really honor the self and really honor your heart, and you understand that. And this is quite phenomenal and powerful, because ultimately you're a loving soul, you deserve the highest good, and that's coming in for you. And because of your willingness to really hold your boundaries, to believe in the self, you have the Emperor and everything turning in your favor, and the Empress. Like, major success in here. But it was because of your willingness to allow to fall away what need to be falling away, but with grace, right? With integrity, with peaceful resolution, you moved forward. With honest, ending conflict and forgiveness. Learning from the past for the wisdom that it taught you, to show you where you belong, to allow it to redirect you. You're actually now trusting in a very higher view, which means a spiritually led path, which means you're perfectly on time, actually. So beautiful work, collective, and I'm just sending you so much light and love. And if you'd like to share your successes or where you've shifted this year, we would love to hear from you. This community is ultimately about love and respect. Also, the chances of you finding this video are also slim to none, because I'm still so unknown on here. And so this is just to confirm and affirm you're on the right path, you're on the right track. So keep going and really believe in that beautiful essence of whom you are, because that is ultimately your success and your achievement, and all the forces are in your favor. So you should be delighted, you should be immensely proud of yourself. And I'm just sending you so much love, because clearly this is a lot of overcoming that you face this year, and a lot of obstacles that you had to shift and move through with a lot of grace. And the spiritual world sees that. So the blessings are here for you, and the acknowledgement of everything you've been through has been here for you. So yeah, cheers.